Hey guys, it's Will. So, battery technology is advancing fast, and one company that's positioning itself at the forefront of some of the innovation is KULR Technology Group. It isn't just another battery stock. As far as I can tell, it's developing some cutting edge thermal management solutions that could reshape some of the EV space and also in aerospace. And the question is it a smart investment? Is it just another speculative play? Let's dive into some of the fundamentals, the risks, some Bitcoin stuff, as well as the stock's future potential. Let's get into it. So, this is KULR stock, and we have been trading it on and off for the past few months. We started covering it back here, I guess it was early November. When it was around $1 a share, I believe. We started covering it there and into this year, just on basically January 1st, it was at $5.60 before selling off. Saw it sell off. It was basically staying below this 200-day moving average, a little bit pushed up, and then found this support here at $1.81. So now we could see that it is holding this support. It was consolidating from left to right, starting basically mid-January all the way till now, February 7th. And it's been consolidating, bouncing between this $1.80 range and $2.70 range. And it's just been bouncing. It's going in between, you can kind of see. And then it started to lose some momentum. It got rejected by that 200-day moving average, got rejected, trying to stay above water, and then dropped to that support again there before recovering a bit, and now it's been consolidating. So this is one of those interesting plays with KULR because I think it was right here we said if it's going to bounce and continue up, right now would be a really good time so it could keep its momentum. We saw this trend. We're saying if it's going to keep going, let's see if it bounces. It just started consolidating from there. It started going sideways. And now we have no definite longer term trend. I mean, you could kind of maybe if I bring this up to this support here from this level, this shelf, you could start to see maybe it's gaining momentum. The interesting part about this is you could see that while it is at this support, from the low here back on the second, about 5 days ago, it is starting to kind of curve. You notice that when you're getting momentum, you would see a reversal happen in consolidation phase. A really good example is CTM stock. We looked at it earlier today. We're still holding this position that has been very volatile. We're up, I think, what is that, 11% so far. We were up over $1,000 at one point. But the reason I share this, and we're just kind of monitoring it, we see it's staying above a key level. That's why we haven't sold. And when we look at this trend, this very common, this is textbook reversal. You have it going down, holding below the 200-day moving average, and then you have a consolidation phase where it's just hitting a support. However, on other indicators like this RSI or this MACD, you can see how even though it's hitting at the same point, it's starting to gain momentum. And that's what we see on the technical side for KULR. That was a consolidation before the reversal. I'm not 100% confident in this reversal just yet, but you do see it was getting rejected by this moving average, and now it's starting. If we look here, this is the exact same point it was at for the past week and a half. However, if you look here, the RSI, when it hit right here, pretty oversold right there. But at the same price point that it's at now, it's not nearly as oversold. So it's just showing a little bit of a momentum. You can see a little bit more stabilization. And maybe that's indication that we could see some of the recovery start to take place. But this is something that's going to pull down KULR stock, and that is simply Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in an interesting stage as it is consolidating as well. We saw it make this big run up, and then over the past few months, really, back from November, it's been consolidating. It's quite clearly in a similar stage. Hopefully, if you're bullish on KULR stock, you're bullish on Bitcoin because KULR stock has about $50 million in Bitcoin. So you see that consolidation on Bitcoin. We'll see if it If this bounce is going to be continuation back up to 106 or 110,000, how this is going to play out. It is holding above the 200-day moving average, but KULR stock is in Bitcoin big time. And so for a company, we'll pull up their company. You can see they work with NASA. You got Lockheed Martin, so they're fairly deep in the space industry. But also you could search on their financials. And if you look at the financials closely, things start to get interesting. Because of their balance sheet, this Bitcoin move could potentially move their stock significantly. And it's not based on full correlation, it's based on investor sentiment. As you can see, the revenue, it's kind of increasing year over year. 3 million in revenue, net income still negative 2 million, but it is increasing year over year. If you go back a quarter, a little bit more volatile, but overall we're seeing green. If you look at their earnings, they recently beat earnings quarter 3 2024. They beat by 50%, revenue by 32%. We'll see what happens in quarter 4. But again, $3 million is their revenue. $3 million. So keep that in mind. $3 million is their revenue. And when you look on the company's investments, we go to the news, they expanded their Bitcoin holdings to a total of $50 million in Bitcoin. So that's 90% of its surplus cash is being held in Bitcoin. $50 million in Bitcoin, $3 million in revenue. So Bitcoin most likely will affect the company. Whether there's all the details that we know exactly how they're managing that position, if they're releasing the news right away when they manage that position, we are not sure. And so that's a risk that you take investing in this company. The other side of KULR stock is it's fairly small. It's a $482 million company. So that means there's a lot of room, $482 million market cap. So there's a lot of room for them to tap into the industry. The battery space, at least in aerospace, so you can see they work in batteries, thermal management, and also in energy storage. So these are carbon composite makeups that can withstand extreme temperatures. That's why they're in the space industry. Makes sense, right? Space, cold, makes sense. And then also conductivity. Thermal conductivity also means for being able to make batteries more efficient, which is why they have KULR One batteries. They have this system. It is they work on their batteries down to a cellular level. And on top of that, if you go into their batteries, one of the things they recently announced was they're going to do a space exploration in the upcoming, so SpaceX. Yeah, you look at that, ARC videos there. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for staying tuned. I appreciate you all. We're over 10,000 subscribers. Now we're over 13,000. Now we're almost to 14,000 today. I think we might hit it. So we're growing really fast. Just want to thank you guys. So we show up on Google like that or on YouTube. That's amazing. And do me a favor. I haven't asked for any favors here. Hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. If there's one thing that helps when getting this value and being able to rank on Google like that, where we're one of the first people, it comes down to the support from you guys, and that like button makes all the difference. That's all I ask. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. So aside from that like button, call to action that I appreciate, this KULR is signing a service agreement with SpaceX for their upcoming rideshare mission. Is this the mission here? Is this the right article? No, that's a NASA mission. This is the SpaceX mission. So you can see it on NASDAQ. I think it said it in that last article. This is interesting too. 400, not to say they're going to capture the whole market, but $400 million market cap. What was it? $482 million market cap. This market, the battery market, is expected to have growth from 3.9 billion to 6.35 billion by 2030. Now, again, it's not just batteries, it's space battery market. So there's not a lot, there are companies, there's a lot, but there's not a massive amount of companies in space battery tech. And so as a 300 or $482 million market cap company to see a expected market growth in the next 5 years of potentially up to $6.5 billion by 2030. For them to capture a portion of that market could be pretty big for the company's valuations. And so if they just get to $1 billion company, let's say, that's going to put them into what could be that would put them double their share price that they're at now, right? So that would put them at what that put them at $4 a share. And so maybe there was a swing here, $5.49. But part of that, so we went over the technicals, but part of that valuation could not only come from their batteries, but we also look at some of their products. If you go to their products, they have the thermal and all that, but they also have something that is working with drone technology. And so they have a partnership with, I believe, US Army. Let me get back to the news. They have a partnership where they have this AI tech that can do real-time stabilization of aerial vibration. So vibration reduction on Apache helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, and they signed this. It's a collaboration with US Army. So they're also an AI tech company as well. So keep that in mind. The partnership there that they had to make this happen was a solo work with US Army. So an in-depth valuation of the KULR Vibe system. So they have their own software. Does that make sense? So they're buying Bitcoin. There's a risk. I personally am bullish long term, but there's going to be more volatility to the stock as a result. There's no doubt about it. The space battery tech looks good. To see how that goes in that SpaceX rideshare mission, which, to clarify, they're paying SpaceX to go on that mission. Nevertheless, they're going to get a lot of great data. They're going to build relationships in the process. They're getting their batteries up into space, which, if that's right there, is a barrier to entry. It's like $1 or $2 million to launch a satellite or launch the type of cargo that they're launching with all those batteries into space. So they're spending about $1 million or $2 million to do that. And I think it's a good thing. I think they should do that. It's going to cause more partnerships, possibly more competition, arousal in the market, that people are saying, hey, we should probably do something. Maybe we should compete with this KULR stock. Hey, they're launching they're launching into this market and they're launching batteries up into space. We should probably do something. Maybe we should start our own battery. There's going to be more competition as a result of them doing that. And so they also have this carbon fiber cathode license for the nuclear reactor. I guess, with carbon fiber cathode, high extreme temperature technology, maybe that makes sense to work with a nuclear plant. I'm not sure how that works. And there's more details in the article that we went over in a previous video. But that's the news. The financials, okay, a little risky with that Bitcoin play. I feel like if Bitcoin was up, we'd see it up more. Regardless where it's at now, what we're going to be looking for, most likely, went way down to a short term. Most likely is going to be some more of this consolidation on the support level. And what you'd like to see, just probability tells us that this most likely will bounce here around this $2 range. It would make a lot of sense to see it push up to this $2.50 range. I think momentum is building, and to be at this support is key. There's a little bit less risk to get in right now. Not suggesting that you should. I only do that for people that I work with on like a very close basis. But when it comes down to this investment, I'd say the risk is lower now than it was if you're buying back here, obviously $5 a share, but it's also near the support. And so near the support means if it's been consistently holding this support fairly well, you can have a stop loss, or you can watch it and monitor it closely and know that based on previous patterns and also the growth of the company, that there's more potential upside than downside. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't go down, and just because it's low price doesn't mean it's a good deal. But when we look at all the technicals, we look at the fundamentals, break down some of the news that came out, it just makes more sense that it would bounce here. And the only thing we have here too is it's most likely to consolidate. I'd say the same thing if it was going up. It's most likely to continue up. If it's going down, it's most likely going to go down unless it's showing very big signs of an overextension in either direction, because the stock has a greater chance of continuing the direction that it's going than reversing. That's really important to keep in mind. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed. We'll see if any market opportunities present themselves. Today we were trading CTM stock, and at one point up over $1,000. I think now it's more like 400 or something. Let's see what it's at right now. $371. Just a little bit under 400. But we'll see if any more opportunities like that present themselves. Not tomorrow, but Monday at market open. If you guys would like to be there, it's the second link down below. That's StockMate. Love to have you there if you want to learn crypto, options, and stocks, and surround yourself with other traders and investors. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.